1 year after independence, Algeria was already showing signs of authoritarian drift. The one-party regime led by Ben Bella left no room for dissent, and the ideals of democracy and pluralism that had fueled the liberation movement were being smothered. In response, one of the architects of the revolution, Hussein Ahmed, broke ranks and founded a new political party, the Socialist Forces Front. It would become the first major challenge to the new regime, and the first political rebellion in post-colonial Algeria. The Socialist Forces Front, or the FFS, is an Algerian political party founded on September 29, 1963 in Tizi Ouzou by Hussein Ahmed, created with the aim of opposing the government of Ben Bella. The root causes of the birth of the FFS are numerous. They stem from several causes: Ahmed's opposition to the regime's urban terrorism, the economic crisis gripping Kabyle, the failure of all legal opposition efforts, and the denial of Berber identity by an increasingly aggressive Arabo-Islamism. They also result from kidnappings and imprisonments carried out without any legal recourse. The FFS was clear about its political goals. This party puts forward the themes of democracy, secularism, and decentralization. Today, we have reached a threshold. From here, it's either fascism, meaning moral misery for our people, and the social misery that inevitably follows, or the resurrection of our revolution. What is certain, what must be seen as a point of no return, is our determination to bring down the regime. Still firmly nationalist and committed to Algeria's unity, Ahmed told journalists on September 29th, "There is no question of secession. This is not a territory that rebels. It is a segment of the Algerian population reviving the revolutionary movement shattered by the crisis of 1962. Following the formation of the FFS, no other region in Algeria joined the front. This was perhaps unsurprising, given the near-unanimous presidential vote in which Ben Bella was officially elected with 95% of the ballots. This is a direct consequence of the economic, social, and cultural conditions different from those in Kabyle. On October 4, 1963, Ahmed declared, "We are ready to sacrifice everything to return Algeria on the path of democracy." Ahmed will make the following statement 2 weeks later. "Algeria is now independent, and nothing is being done for the women and children of those who died alongside me. When I was in Tizi Ouzou, 100, 200 people knocked on my door every day. Men who had led the internal fighting under my orders since November 1st were excluded from the army. They don't even have enough to buy a pack of cigarettes." In September 1963, the Sand War broke out. This Algerian-Moroccan border conflict allows Ben Bella to accuse the FFS of collusion with Morocco. It also created an atmosphere of national unity that overshadowed the real debate between democracy and dictatorship. Since the proclamation of the FFS, the government has led a particularly aggressive campaign against Ahmed and what the regime branded as a counter-revolution. Defections by several Arabic-speaking FFS leaders allowed the government to reshape its narrative, equating the party with separatism, neo-colonialism, anti-socialism, and foreign influence. In a meeting held in Algiers on October 1st, 1963, Ben Bella, having denounced the alleged collusion between Morocco and the FFS, took military measures to crush the so-called counter-revolution. The political leaders of the FFS decide to launch armed struggle. Colonel Saddiq will take the head of the guerrilla. Colonel Boumediene. What I can say about him is that he is a pathetic little intellectual. While the war was raging in Algeria, he was hiding out in Morocco and Tunis. After the war, he comes back with cannons and divisions, won by the people who actually fought here, only to use those same cannons to crush the rest of the population that liberated the country. I swear before God and these men, we will not lay down our arms, nor take off this combat uniform, until democratic and just principles are established. Not a chance. Kabyle will now endure an 18-month military crackdown led by the People's National Army, or the ANP. Said Saadian writes, "The most striking example of our post-independence history remains the FFS episode. Here is a party which subscribed to the notion of multi-partyism, which began as a national movement, but quickly became confined to Kabyle due to serial defections. From this moment on, everything was justified. The military launched the most atrocious repression many of us experienced as children, which did not even tickle the conscience of the rest of the country.